Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving headfirst into another great manga, Tatsuki Fujimoto's Fire Punch. If you know Fujimoto sensei from his smash hit Chainsaw Man, then you already know he's not afraid to push boundaries. But let me tell you, Fire Punch, his earlier work, is often described as even bolder and more unhinged. And after reading it, I can absolutely confirm that. This isn't just a manga, it's an experience. It's brutal, beautiful, and profoundly thought provoking. And it's definitely not for everyone. So let's break down why this series burns so brightly for me and where it might leave some scars. First, a quick spoiler light overview of the premise. Imagine Earth, plunged into an eternal ice age, supposedly by an enigmatic figure known as the Ice Witch. In this desolate frozen world, survival is a daily struggle, and a select few possess blessings, unique supernatural abilities. Our protagonist is Anyi, a young man with an incredibly powerful regeneration blessing. He and his sister Luna live in a remote village where Anyi literally cuts off his own limbs to feed the starving elderly, a grim, cannibalistic act of survival. But their already harsh existence shatters when another blessed, Doma, discovers their secret. Disgusted, Doma unleashes unextinguishable flames, incinerating the entire village, including Luna. Ani, however, is left in a perpetual state of agony, his body constantly burning and regenerating, trapping him in an endless cycle of torment. For 8 years, he endures this living hell, fueled by one singular, all consuming desire: revenge against Doma. And that, my friends, is just the beginning of this wild ride. Now, let's talk about what truly makes Fire Punch stand out for me: the philosophical depth. Fire Punch is a masterclass in philosophical inquiry. It dives headfirst into nihilism and existentialism, constantly questioning the very point of living anymore in a world stripped of meaning. But here's the kicker: it presents an almost optimistic take on nihilism. It argues that even if nothing truly matters in the grand cosmic scheme, individuals can still forge subjective meaning through love, relationships, or deeply personal pursuits. The pervasive bleakness actually becomes a fertile ground for profound human connection, which surprisingly is presented as the ultimate purpose. It's a challenging idea, but one that resonated deeply with me. The series also brilliantly deconstructs belief systems. It shows how religions and ideals often arise from desperation, deliberate falsehoods, or profound misinterpretations. Whether it's the cult of Anism built on lies or a god revealed to be a character from a B movie, Fire Punch constantly blurs the lines between truth and comforting fictions. It made me think about our fundamental human need to construct narratives, even false ones, to navigate an incomprehensible, hostile world. The unforgettable characters. Ani's journey is the narrative's anchor. His mind, perpetually underdeveloped due to the ceaseless agony of the flames, makes him essentially a kid trapped within a monstrous burning body. His shifts from vengeful monster to reluctant deity to a man yearning for a normal life, making him incredibly complex and, despite his horrific actions, often sympathetic. The manga shows how trauma doesn't just inflict pain, it fundamentally alters or even erases identity. But if there's one character who truly stole the show for me, it's Togata. This highly regenerative cinephile is an absolute standout. Their role as a catalyst for Arnie's development and their embodiment of the meta narrative of the world as a film is absolutely crucial to the story's depth. Togata's passion for movies and their desire to make a film are so compelling. Their depth, for me, was one of the most emotional and impactful moments in the entire series. Fujimoto's ability to craft such raw, honest characters especially under extreme duress, is truly remarkable. Tatsuki Fujimoto's artistic mastery. Fujimoto's art style is instantly recognizable and consistently lauded. His distinctive scratchy aesthetic, intricate details, and the pervasive cinematic quality that permeates his work are just phenomenal. The way he depicts fire and other effects solely through masterful black and white line work is nothing short of exceptional. Reading Fire Punch often felt like watching a gritty, independent film with dynamic paneling that perfectly conveyed the story's raw emotion and chaos. He uses solid blacks, various gray tones, and cross hatching to create a stark visual impact. And his unique quirks, like the emphasis on eyelids and detailed teeth, really make his characters pop. The art isn't just pretty, it is the experience of this chaotic world. Fire Punch is gloriously unpredictable. It's been described as unwieldy and feeling like Fujimoto is ad-libbing the story as it occurs, and I completely agree with that. But this very quality is its main charm. One moment you're laughing at a dumb joke, and the next you're blindsided by hard-hitting drama. This constant genre bending and subversion of common manga tropes, especially the revenge narrative, kept me on the edge of my seat. It's a narrative style that mirrors the chaotic, unpredictable world it depicts, making the reading experience feel incredibly authentic to the character's struggles. Now, while I largely adored Fire Punch, it's crucial to acknowledge its challenging aspects. This manga is not for everyone, and for good reason. The double edged sword of shock value. This is perhaps the most contentious point. Fire Punch is infamous for its distasteful and gut wrenching scenes, including graphic violence, sexual assault, incest, and even pedophilia, often appearing within the very first volume. For some, these elements felt random, serving little purpose beyond shock value. For me, while undeniably disturbing, I found that these extreme elements often underscored the complete collapse of conventional morality in this post apocalyptic world. They force the reader to confront the harsh realities and desperate measures of survival. However, I can absolutely understand how some might find them excessive or poorly integrated, and it's a valid criticism that the manga's effectiveness hinges on the reader's willingness to dig a little deeper beyond the initial discomfort. The narrative consistency and world building. Some critics have pointed to a lack of consistency in the narrative, noting that the story can feel derailed easily. While I appreciated the unwieldy nature as part of its charm, I can see how the rapid shifts in plot and tone might be jarring for readers expecting a more linear progression. Similarly, the world building, while initially intriguing, sometimes felt underdeveloped or even abandoned after the early volumes. It's a stylistic choice that works for some, but can be a point of frustration for others. The relationship between Annie and Luna, Judah, with its unsettling incestuous undertones and Annie's manipulation of Judah's identity, was a significant point of discomfort for me and also for many other readers. It's a deeply controversial element that highlights the profound psychological brokenness of characters in an extreme environment. The rapid demise of many side characters also made it challenging to form deep attachments, though it did reinforce the brutal reality of their world. Pacing also gets varied opinions. Some call it fast paced, others slow paced. I found it shifted, which I think was intentional, but it can be jarring. The ambiguity of the ending. The ending it's arguably the most divisive element of Fire Punch. Some found it lackluster, confusing, and anticlimactic, leaving many questions unanswered. Others, myself included, found it satisfying, strong, and even beautiful, bringing things full circle. The final scene depicting Annie and Judah reuniting millennia later in the vastness of space is particularly polarizing. It's a powerful, albeit ambiguous, culmination of the manga's nihilistic themes, suggesting that meaning can be found solely in deeply personal connection. This ambiguity might frustrate those seeking a neat resolution. But for me, it perfectly encapsulated the manga's core philosophical statements. So, what's my verdict on Fire Punch? It is a truly unique, brutal, and profoundly thought provoking series that defies easy evaluation. It holds a significant place as a foundational work for Tatsuki Fujimoto, showcasing his distinct artistic voice and the thematic preoccupations that would later define Chainsaw Man. Its lasting impact on readers, whether through its disturbing content or its deep philosophical inquiries, is undeniable. This is a series that doesn't hold your hand. It throws you into the deep end and dares you to swim. The consistent description of Fire Punch as fucked up and not suited for everyone is accurate. It's a cult classic that readers often either love or they hate, frequently for the very same reasons. If you're a fan of dark fantasy, philosophical inquiry, and narratives that push the boundaries, and if you have the stomach for its extreme content, then Fire Punch is an absolute must read. It's a challenging yet ultimately rewarding journey that will provoke thought and discussion long after you've turned the final page. For me, it solidified Fujimoto's place as one of the most audacious and brilliant storytellers in modern manga. Have you read Fire Punch? What were your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please hit that like button, subscribe for more manga deep dives, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss my next video. Until next time, stay safe and keep reading.